What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm here to do my deep dive into the Dolphins safeties, who they currently have on the roster. We are getting to the back end of these videos, and here shortly, as a matter of fact, today I intend to start working on the information gathering processing phase of my draft picks. And the list of potential targets for, at each position for the draft for the Miami Dolphins. The same thing that I did with free agents. We're almost done with that, and we are going to get ready to switch gears and move into the draft. So exciting stuff. Things are happening, and I do intend to go to the draft. Now, unfortunately, those like VIP packages and the seating packages, that shit is too expensive, but I will be there for like all of the festivities and watching from a distance, I guess. But when it comes to the actual draft, because anyway, but I'll be there for that, so that's going to be fun. Obviously, like I said, I'm taking things on the road, but for now, I am doing safeties today, the deep dive, and then I have the free agency video tomorrow, and then after safeties, it's just quarterback and punter, which I will be doing, in the same video. So I'll be doing a deep dive video and then a free agency video, and then we will move on to the draft. So anyway, with that though, let's go ahead and start getting into it. But before I start getting into the safeties, I do want to do a little roundup of things, some updates to information that of things that have happened around the league. So some things that happened today, some things that happened yesterday, that I would have maybe included in yesterday's video, except for I had accidentally recorded that video like 3 days ago because I got ahead of myself in my video list. Anyway, so the first thing is, the one thing that came out today that actually is just blowing up all across Twitter and social media and the news and stuff is that Tom Brady is apparently unretiring. So we thought we finally were going to get a season where Tom Brady wasn't playing NFL football. Look, I actually don't hate Tom Brady the same way. Yes, I agree with you that he's a cheater. Yes, I agree with you that, like, from a competitive Dolphins standpoint, fuck the Patriots, fuck the Bills, fuck the Jets. I want to kick the shit out of them whenever we play them. But, like, otherwise, when they're just independent of us, I don't really care. Like, I'm just indifferent, honestly, really, about them for the most part. And, I just acknowledge the truths about them, right? Like, I don't think about them like that, and I don't really hate them like that either, because I just really acknowledge the truth. Now, they are cheaters. I completely agree with that. I don't think that they should have the 6 Super Bowls. Now, Tom Brady won the 1 Super Bowl with the Bucks, so he's got 7 because of that. And I agree that, look, Tom Brady certainly is one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. Whether you think he's the best or one of the best, he certainly is. But let's also note that he's a game-managing quarterback, okay? Tom Brady, now he's obviously got, some of the size requirements. He's a little bit taller, like he's taller than Tua, for example, but, he's not exactly the most elite guy. Certainly not the most mobile guy by any stretch of the imagination. And his arm, while he's had a solid arm throughout his career, hasn't exactly been, Aaron Rodgers type arm either, right? He's just been super efficient, takes what the defense gives you. His ball is out super quick, right? All things Tua can do, and a lot of things that Tua can do better. But anyway, I digress there. So I'm simply saying, though, that I acknowledge these things. But he's also one of the players that I talk about when I defend my unorthodox philosophy about quarterbacks, and how I say that it's not all about the quarterback, and you can get an elite quarterback in a later round. It doesn't have to be a first-round guy. In fact, a number of the elite guys have come from, including him, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, outside of the first round, right? Like, I mean, it's pretty, Montana, oh, God damn it. Who the fuck? I think Montana was in the later rounds. No, who was that movie just about? American Underdog. Why am I fucking... I can see his face in my head, but I can't fucking... I'm blanking on his name. You guys know who I'm talking about. He was an undrafted player. Like, I mean, come on, bro. Like, you don't... Anyway, again, I digress, because my point is, though, is I like to see things objectively. So when we play them, I absolutely want to crush them, but that goes for any opponent. And otherwise, you know, and this is why, like, at certain times when we need one of those teams to win to help us out, I don't have a problem with rooting for those teams, bro. Like, because I don't have some, like, weird childish hatred for them. Like, it's fine to be competitive against them, but, like, the type of, like, seething hatred that they have, some fans have for these teams and these individuals in particular is just wild to me, and I can't bring myself to do that. So, anyway, this whole long thing about, you know, the Patriots and Tom Brady, he's playing again, so there's that. Some of the other quick things that I wanted to mention, now that I'm 6 minutes in after all of that, Michael Gallup is officially staying with the Dallas Cowboys, it looks like. So he's a guy that I was looking at as a potential free agent target at wide receiver. Zach Ertz is staying with the Cardinals, just in case he may have been a potential target for us if we weren't going to do other things. Now, obviously, we franchise tagged Mike Gesicki, you know, blah, blah, blah. So probably wouldn't anyway, and not a high priority, but he was a guy that was on the list. Amari Cooper did end up actually going somewhere, and now he's with the Browns, so probably not coming here. And then the other thing, Dolphins related, is a couple days ago, or yesterday I think it was, or something like that, the Dolphins tendered, they put a second round tender on Nick Needham, which is a good move. That's a good move. I like that move. It keeps him here, and if anybody wanted to sign him away, they'd have to give us a second round pick for him. That's what a second round tender would do for us. So I like that. And that means either he's playing for us or we get a second round pick. I'm definitely good with that. So yeah, I would expect Nick Needham to be here, because I don't think anybody's going to be willing to give a second round pick for him, but I like that. And so that helps solidify our secondary again. And I think that's a good move. He is one of the better cornerbacks on the roster. And then, of course, you know what I would like to do. I'd like to get rid of Byron Jones and sign J.C. Jackson, but that's, you know, that's a dream. So, and very well could not end up happening. Anyway, oh, also, Deshaun Watson. How can I not mention this? He got cleared of his criminal charges. The grand jury's like, we're not going to file charges. I told y'all that shit was going to go away. I told you he's going to be playing again, and he is going to be on the move somewhere soon. Who knows where? I don't know. The Dolphins have apparently shut the door on it, so we'll see how that all turns out. But anyway, all right, enough of that. Enough of all that. That is the news updates. Let's actually go ahead now and get to the point and purpose of this video. So starting off, we have position rankings by need, as always. Offensive line, tackles, center, running back, wide receiver, linebacker being a true middle, defensive line, edge, and tackle, with cornerback next, tight end, safety, and you see that's where we're at today, taking a look at the Dolphins safeties, quarterback, backup quarterback, and punter as far as specialists go. So with that, we are now going to, so you see safety is 8th on my list, and then we got 2 more, but those last 2 I will be doing in a video together. So all right, let's go ahead and take a look at safety. So here we are in the center of the screen. We've got Jason McCourty to start with. You could have him, again, I mentioned this in the cornerback video. You could have him as a cornerback, but they have moved him to safety, and that's probably where he's going to stay. I don't know if they even keep him. Honestly, I'd let him go. 14th year, going into his 14th year. He's 34. He's not that expensive, $1.2 million, although the Patriots did just give his brother a contract extension. Measurables pro day, round 6 pick 2003, 203 overall in 2009, 13 years in. Excuse me, starting with the Tennessee Titans from 09 to 16, Browns in 17, Patriots 18 to 20, and Dolphins 2021 to present. 173 games played, 141 started, 9,181 snaps, 706.2 per year, 744 total tackles, 57.2 per, 598 solo, 46 per year. Excuse me. 146 assisted, 11.2 per season, 18 tackles for loss, 1.4, 1 sack, 0.1, 18 turnovers, 1.4 per year. Excuse me, got a little something tickling my throat. Anyway, forced fumbles, 9 to his career, 0.7 per year, 5 recoveries, 0.4 per year, 108 passes defensed, 8.3, 3 touchdowns, 0.2. Played in 7 games this past season, 4 started, 312 snaps, 21 total tackles, 10 solo, 11 assisted, and 2 passes defensed. And of course, he did win the Super Bowl with the New England Patriots in 2018, Super Bowl 53. And he's been pretty solid with his grading, not so much recently, and a little bit 14 and 15 had some rough years, but and in his rookie season 2009 grading wise, but otherwise he has been pretty solid in his grading. Look, he's not bad. I don't think he's bad, but with the other guys that we have, I don't really think we need him. And this is just, you know, when I say what I mean, like, this is an ideal situation for me. Like, when I say what I would do with players, and that's obviously also assuming that other moves are made, right? So like my ideal scenario in total is you give Howard what he wants, you cut Byron Jones, you bring in J.C. Jackson, you let him go. Your safeties end up being, you let Clayton Fedulum go. Your safeties end up being Javon Holland, Brandon Jones, Eric Rowe. I would keep Eric Rowe. And who is it else? I guess we'll look here in a minute. So Clayton Fedulum, I'd let him go, 7th year, 20, going into his 7th year, 28. Now Clayton Fedulum does add special teams. I'll be fair, he is a major special teams contributor, so there is that. But you know, I wouldn't have any problem letting him go when it comes to, because he doesn't contribute at all on defense. Anyway, measurables pro day, round 7 pick in 2016, 245 overall. 6 years in, starting with the Bengals from 16 to 19. 2020 to present with us, 94 games played, 6 started, 726 snaps, 121 per year. Not a ton of usage, obviously, like I said, mostly special teams, because I only included defensive, not special teams. So 134, he would have a lot more snaps if I did include special teams. That's why I'm, like I said, I'm trying to be fair and at least acknowledge it. 134 total tackles, 22.3 per year, 88 solo, 14.7, 46 assisted, 7.7, 1 tackle for loss, 0.2, 1 interception, 0.2, 2 forced fumbles, 0.3, 3 fumble recoveries, half a recovery a season, 2 passes defense, 0.3, 1 touchdown, 0.2. Did play in 17 games, but again, that was mostly on special teams because he only had 16 defensive snaps, 7 total tackles, 5 solo, 2 assisted, and hasn't gotten very good grades. His best year, 2018, maybe, or 2016 overall, an overall grade, depending kind of how you look at it. Anyway, so Clayton Fedulum, whatever, I would be happy if they let him go. Javon Holland, 2nd year, 22. Obviously, he looked like a stud in his first season. Hopefully, he can stay healthy and continue that, especially under the tutelage of guys like Sam Madison and Pat Surtain, right? So, would love to see it. Would love to see it. Would love to see it. I would expect him to have another good season. You know, so I do love Javon Holland, even though, again, just to be clear, I still would have prioritized way differently the past 3 years in the draft. So likely Javon Holland never would have been a Dolphin if it was up to me, because I would have done the 2019 draft differently. I would have done, which would have had me do the 2020 draft differently, which would have had me do the 2021 draft differently, right? And I actually would have ended up getting a safety earlier on. I also wouldn't have fucking got rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick. But anyway, I digress. So, but I do love Javon Holland, and I do think that he actually did turn out to be one of the good picks that year, and I really love the kid. I think he's phenomenal, and I think he's going to continue to be phenomenal. So, and I do actually like, even though I do think Javon Holland is a star, Brandon Jones, who we'll get to in a minute, I don't think he's really a star, but I do like him as a solid pairing with Javon Holland. And also having Xavier Howard out there and Byron Jones, whatever. But if you replaced it, again, ideal scenario, if you replace Byron Jones with JC Jackson, then having those 4 guys in the back end, oh, that's, defenses aren't going deep. They're not fucking getting past us. Like, their top receivers are going to be gone. Their top 2 receivers, easy, are going to be gone. Most tight ends are going to be gone. Like, I mean, it's just, and then especially if you can somehow manage to get Nakobe Dean in the first round. I mean, bro, like, to upgrade that linebacking unit, our defense would be done. It'd be done. You wouldn't have to, the only thing you would have to do then going into the future is get depth pieces and groom and make sure you groom up guys to be replacements when those guys wear out or get old or retire or do eventually leave, right? And then of course that's how you do it. That's the cycle you want to get into is where you, and same thing goes for offense. And if you build a team properly, you can get your offense and your defense done and then just be fucking year in and year out finding guys to be, you know, their backups for a few years, the young draft picks that you get to be their backups for a few years while they grow and they develop and they settle in, and then eventually they become their replacements. And you just keep that cycle, and you do it primarily through the draft, and you supplement to get some veteran leadership, proven veteran leadership in free agency. Anyway, he was a round 2 pick, obviously, in 2021, 36 overall, just had the 1-year rookie season, 2021 to present with us, obviously all with us, 16 games played, 13 started, 893 snaps. Obviously, you know, it's all going to be the same for his per year because he's only played the 1 year, 69 total tackles, 48 solo, 21 assisted, 3 tackles for loss, 7 quarterback hits, 2.5 sacks. I did actually think it would be more. I did actually think it was more, but Brandon Jones had 5, I think it was. 2 interceptions, though. Got the 2 interceptions and 3 fumble recoveries with 10 passes defense. So, again, a stud. Obviously, all those numbers are the same for his 2021 stats. And they're all career bests because, again, he only had 1 season so far. So, of course, it's going to be career bests. And he got graded out really well his first season in the NFL. He did... Oh, you know what? Shit, I forgot to... I am pretty sure... Hang on. I'm pretty sure Javon Holland made the all-rookie team this season, and I think I just forgot to put it in. It actually would be here. I think he... Man, I don't want to do it if he didn't, but I'm pretty sure he did. So... I'm going to just mention it, and I think I just forgot to actually type it in here when I was doing this, add it in, but I'm pretty sure he made Pro Football Writers Association's all-rookie team for 2021. Anyway, I know he didn't make the Pro Bowl or anything like that. He didn't get any other special awards, but I do think he made Pro Football Writers Association all-rookie team. Anyway, Brandon Jones going into his 3rd year, another Dolphins draft pick. And again, I like the pairing with Javon Holland, 23, 1.3 current APY. That's his current cap hit. Measurables, round 3 pick in 2020, 70th overall, 2 years in, all with us. 31 games played, 17 started, 1,032 snaps, 516 per year, 141 total tackles, 70.5 per season, 89 solo, 44.5, 52 assisted, 26, 9 tackles for loss, 4.5, 11 quarterback hits, 5.5, and 6 sacks, which is 3 per year. 1 interception, half an interception per season, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. That's 1 per year each. And same for passes defense, 2 for his career. And see, that's the thing is like Brandon Jones definitely does need to be better in coverage. So if he can develop that, or if he can't develop that, then, you know, maybe one day you do replace him but if we had Minkah Fitzpatrick, then you would have Javon Holland and Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Brandon Jones would just be their backup, be a really good, solid backup, right? But if you get another guy in the future, or let's say, now I'm not saying we should take him if he was there, but if Kyle Hamilton, if he was somehow a Dolphin, Kyle Hamilton and Javon Holland would be the starters. Anyway, 15 games played, 13 started, 646 snaps, did set or match a number of career bests pretty much in every category. 79 total tackles, 48 solo, 31 assisted, 6 tackles for loss, 10 quarterback hits, 5 sacks like I mentioned, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 pass defensed. Hasn't exactly gotten graded out all that well, but he definitely has things to work on for sure. I mean, he definitely does. I mean, Javon Holland is pretty complete, came into the league pretty complete, but he is a solid player. Like I said, I mean, you could definitely upgrade over Brandon Jones, but I do think he is a solid player, and for a round 3 pick, I think he's fine. I think he's right around that, especially because he is still young and cheap enough to have developmental upside and be able to get better. All right, Sheldrick Redwine, 4th year, 25, very low current cap hit or APY. He is not, apparently, it looks like he's not going to be tendered, so he is going to hit the free agent market. I mean, I don't care. Like, there's nothing, you know, I mean, it's fine. Again, there's a lot of players that you will have noticed throughout these videos that I'm basically just indifferent about. Like, if they bring him into training camp, I get it. Otherwise, if they end up letting him go, because I think safety is a position that we're relatively set at. Although you do need 4, so it's got to be, I would say you need at least 4. So Javon Holland, Brandon Jones, Eric Rowe, and there was somebody else I was thinking of, because I said, you know, Redwine and Fedulum, like they could go. Anyway, 19 to 20 with the Browns. He was round 4 pick in 2019 and 119 overall, 3 years in. Started with the Browns, then spent a little time between 2 teams in 2021, starting with the Jets, then us, and then is obviously now with us. 33 games played, 8 started, 681 snaps, 227 per year. Hasn't got a ton of usage, doesn't have a lot of impact, or hasn't so far. 77 total tackles, 25.7 per year, 52 solo, 17.3, 25 assisted, 8.3, 1 quarterback hit, 0.3, half a sack, 0.25 per season, 1 interception, 0.3, 3 passes defense, 1 per year. Got 6 games played this last season, 33 snaps, 8 total tackles, 5 solo, 3 assisted. And as far as his grades go, his best year was his rookie season in 2019, and that's also when he got the most snaps. So, you know, not much there. You know, special teams guy maybe at most, but nothing jumps off the paper there for you. Anyway, moving on. Like I said, Eric Rowe, I actually would keep because I think he has settled in pretty nicely overall at safety, even though I wasn't a huge, you know, I wasn't big on doing it. Like, I was less for moving Bobby McCain there than Eric Rowe, but he actually turned out to like settle in pretty nicely and get comfortable with it and has performed overall pretty well. And I would leave him in there as the veteran guy and a solid backup. Going into his 8th year, 29, about $5 million current cap hit, measurables combine, round 2 pick in 2015, 47th overall, 7 years in, starting with the Eagles in 15, 16 to 18 with the Patriots, 19 to present with us, 86 games played, 50 started, 3,980 snaps, 568.6 per year, 325 total tackles, 46.4 per, 230 solo, 32.9, 95 assisted, 13.6, 3 tackles for loss, and 3 quarterback hits, 0.4 each per year, 5 interceptions, 0.7, 4 forced fumbles, 0.6 per year, 1 recovery is 0.1, 39 passes defense, 5.6 per year, 1 touchdown is 0.1 per year. Played in 17 games this past season, 4 games started, 638 snaps, 71 total tackles, 43 solo, 28 assisted, 1 quarterback hit, 3 forced fumbles, and 4 passes defensed. Did win 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots, 51 and 53, 2016, 2017 respectively. Been kind of up and down in his grading. Overall, did have his best season in 2021, it would seem, actually. But like I said, I would keep him around. And then I guess maybe if I guess the path here, if I don't like the rest of these guys, is maybe in the mid to late rounds draft a safety, right? mid to late rounds. There you go. Because I got to figure out something to fill some of those other draft slots with, right? Because for me, my ideal scenario would be if we could get Nakobe Dean at 29, that would be fucking phenomenal. We get our running back in round 2, which would be either Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, or Isaiah Spiller, depending on how the board falls and who they want. I would get a wide receiver in round 3, and that because I think we only have one pick for each of the first 3 rounds. I know for sure in round 1 and round 2 we do. And then I hadn't really figured out yet what I want after that. So maybe throw in a fucking safety. Throw in a young safety to groom up behind these guys or whatever, and to be the 4th one on the roster, because Redwine and Fedulum I don't really care about, although Fedulum may end up staying because of his special teams, so that could be a thing. So anyway, that is going to wrap it up though, because that is the end of the list of safeties that the Dolphins currently have on the roster. I gave you all of the updated news from around the league, a lot of stuff going on, and so I believe tomorrow the tampering period opens up where they can start talking to free agents, because I think it's like 2 days before the new league year that they can actually start talking to that players can start talking to teams can start talking to players and their agents, so on and so forth. And then things can actually be made official 3 days. I mean, free agency is in 3 days. So we are knocking on the door. And then, like I said, that's why, so tomorrow is going to be my free agency video for safeties. You know, maybe depending, you know, on how they go, maybe they bring in a safety in free agency. Although it's not a top priority, because especially since I wouldn't spend a ton of money on the position, I would just maybe get a late round, like maybe a 4th, 5th, 6th round fucking safety, right? 4th round, get one in the 4th round maybe. Or maybe, you know, maybe we want to go offensive line in the 4th round but we got so many of these young draft picks. And if they do what I want and what they're actually expecting to do, it looks like they're going to get at least 2 or 3 offensive linemen, or at least target 2 or 3 offensive linemen, bring in 2 or 3 offensive linemen, veteran guys. And it looks like, you know, some notable names. Lyle Collins maybe at right tackle, which would be great. I'd be super fine with that. As long as he can, you know, stay on the field, stay healthy, stay out of trouble and stuff like that. That is something to think about for sure. But, you know, my ideal scenario was Trent Brown, and maybe that's still possible, but Taron Armstead at left tackle, maybe Ryan Jensen at center, depending on what he does, if he wants to stay in Tampa, especially with Tom Brady now going back. So, you know, I don't know, bro. Like, we'll see what happens, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see what actually comes to fruition. And I'll just give you my honest opinions about it, right? Like, I'll tell you, depending on who I've made these videos, so you know who I would want to go after. You know what my ideal scenarios would be. You know how I would build this team. So the information is out there. The receipts are out there. So I think I've made it pretty clear. You'll know if I don't like it, right? You'll know if I don't like the moves they make. I mean, it's pretty simple. So, you know, we'll see. And that's not to say that there are not players out there that are not on my lists that I would, you know, be okay with. Like, there certainly are, right? Like, Lyle Collins wasn't on my list of offensive linemen, but I would. Now, I don't necessarily want to trade a draft pick for him, or especially like a 3rd round pick. The Dolphins are reportedly holding out on that, not willing to pay 3rd round pick, which is good. I wouldn't do that. I get, because I want to keep the draft capital. Spend money. I'm fine with spending money. Like, I'm fine with spending money, bro. And I said I would pay buku dollars for a right tackle. So I don't care about spending the money. We got the money. I want to keep my draft picks. That's what I don't want. Especially because he could end up getting cut. And apparently there is mutual interest with him. He would be interested in coming to Miami. And so if these teams hold out and are like, you know, hey, there are a number of teams interested though. So but if all these teams hold out, because a couple days, you know, free agency is a couple days away. So if these teams just hold out for a couple days knowing that they're going to most likely cut him, we could just end up having to pay him, and maybe it is a decent amount, although probably not. It probably wouldn't have to be like super buku dollars because he does have some, injury / off the field things that would come up in the conversations, right? But I would love to bring him in, right? And then Terron Armstead at left tackle. Then Lyle Collins and Terron Armstead left and right tackle. I'd be fucking great with that. Robert Hunt at right guard. And then I do think they still need to then get a center. Ryan Jensen would be ideal. But, you saw I do have a couple other guys on my list. And there are other guys out there that I would take as well. I didn't put them on my list. But anyway, so again, we'll see how all that plays out. It is going to be interesting. I'm super excited to see, and I can't wait. So, let's get to it, man. A couple days away, and it's going to start popping off. So anyway, free agency videos are coming to a close. We are then going to jump pretty rapidly into draft videos, draft prospect videos. As soon as I get information done, all the information gathered and positions completed, I'll start releasing those videos. I'm going to do it in the same order that I did these videos. So offensive line first, even though I would target offensive line primarily in free agency. But anyway, and then we're just going to keep rolling. And then obviously I'll probably actually make separate videos for the big announcements and signings that the Dolphins do, separate from these videos. But anyway, so all of that information still yet to come and things to happen. So excited for it. Let's see it. Before I get out of here, make sure you check out the Rave On Sports App, the new fan-driven sports app for all of your sports, whether it be basketball, baseball, football, college, whatever you like, they got it, and they are looking to enhance your game day experience with live play-by-play coverage, live chats with other fans and content creators like myself, while also providing you with an arena to dispute the terrible officiating. So make sure you look for the links to that in the description box. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at DillonTartaro, as well as on Instagram at Dolphins_with_Dillon. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.
7 seconds left. Tannehill will throw it. And this will end it after the shovel. Miami runs around, circling, on the go. Gronkowski did not beat it. Touchdown! Can you pray? A miracle! Miraculous in Miami. Stills to Parker to Drake. And they held off the field. Unimaginable what has taken place here in South Florida. The Dolphins have done it. They keep their season alive. 69 yards. Wow. Pure joy. Miami wins it.